Welcome back. I'm Jared from Scamware 101, and in this video we'll be talking about arrest warrant scams. This is when scammers impersonate law enforcement and claim an arrest warrant was issued for the victim. This scam is extremely popular right now. On our weekly live stream every Thursday, we look at recent scam headlines and discuss what's trending. Every week, arrest warrant scams show up in the headlines. In recent weeks, multiple warnings were issued by local law enforcement, and this scam even received some media attention. In this video, we'll explain exactly what an arrest warrant scam is and how to identify one. We'll look at recent headlines and warnings from local law enforcement agencies, then we'll wrap up with some key takeaways about this scam that can be applied to other scams as well to protect yourself. If you find this video useful, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you experienced an arrest warrant scam, tell us about it in the comments. I want to hear your story. We're live every Thursday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. For reminders, you can join our mailing list by visiting scamaware101.com. If you want to show support on YouTube with a super thanks, we appreciate it. No pressure, but the option is there. Now, with all that out of the way, let's talk about arrest warrant scams and the recent warnings from local law enforcement agencies across the U.S. So, what is an arrest warrant scam? An arrest warrant scam is when a victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer claims an arrest warrant was issued and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. Earlier this month, January 2025, the Webb County Sheriff's Office in Texas issued a warning that said, "Scammers are calling people claiming there is a warrant for their arrest. They demand payment over the phone, saying a deputy will arrest them if they don't pay. The Sheriff's Office says this is fake and reminds people they never ask for payment over the phone." The warning continues to advise, if you get a call from someone claiming to be from the Sheriff's Office, or if the number appears to be ours, be cautious. Tell the caller you will hang up and call them back at the office. Did you catch that? Even if the number appears to be theirs, stay cautious. That's an important point to remember. Scammers can manipulate caller ID to show a different phone number. In the case of this arrest warrant scam, they show the phone number of your local Sheriff's Office. Let that sink in. A scammer in a different country calls your phone, and your caller ID shows the phone number of a sheriff's office instead of the scammers. Let's watch a quick clip about this warning from Webb County Sheriff's Office in Texas.
It involves a caller telling people there is a warrant out for their arrest and that they will be picked up by a deputy unless they pay the bond amount over the phone. The sheriff's office stresses that this is a fake call, as they would never request payment over the phone.
If they get a call from something that appears to be the sheriff's office, or if they get their number electronically masked, if you have any doubts, you can tell the officer, "I'm going to hang up and call you back at your office," and that call will be routed back to the sheriff's office here instead of the fake number they're calling from.
This is the new normal for scammers. When they impersonate banks, they display the bank's phone number on your caller ID. When they impersonate law enforcement, they display a law enforcement phone number on your caller ID. Always remember that caller ID is not a reliable way to verify who you are talking to. Follow the advice from Webb County, hang up the phone, and contact the agency or office directly. Another recent warning about arrest warrant scams was issued in January by the Ector County Sheriff's Office in Texas. They warned that scammers provide some pretty convincing paperwork that isn't real. That's a nice detail that isn't mentioned often when talking about arrest warrant scams. Scammers have been known to provide fake paperwork to victims, and the Sheriff's Office warns you not to fall for it. They say, no law enforcement agency will ever tell you to pay money on the spot to avoid arrest. The warnings shared examples of the fake documents, which resulted in some media coverage. Here's a video clip with examples of the fake paperwork used in this arrest warrant scam.
This one comes with some pretty fancy paperwork. Take a look. It looks legit, but this is not. It's fake. The sheriff's office says scammers clearly put some effort into making it look real, but he wants to remind you no law enforcement agency will ever tell you you need to pay money on the spot to avoid arrest. If you receive any official-looking documents like this demanding payment to avoid jail, it is a scam. Don't fall for it.
It's common for scammers to use fake documents when impersonating government agencies. In this case, the scammers use fake documents to make the arrest warrant story seem more believable. Never trust documentation provided by a random stranger calling you on the phone. The same advice from earlier still applies. Hang up and contact the local enforcement agency directly. In another warning about arrest warrant scams, issued January 16th out of Kure Beach, North Carolina, Police warn that scammers impersonating the sheriff's office claim you have an active warrant or missed jury duty. Here's a quick clip from Kure Beach, North Carolina.
This one, scammers are pretending to be law enforcement to steal your information. Kure Beach Police says that scammers are calling people and posing as the new Hanover County Sheriff's Office. The department says that scammers will say that you have an active warrant or missed jury duty and try to solicit money from you. If you get one of these calls, do not give them any money or information.
The jury duty scam mentioned is when a scammer claims you missed jury duty, then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. That's a common narrative used in jury duty scams and arrest warrant scams. Be suspicious of any phone calls claiming you missed jury duty or threatening arrest. Let's wrap up this video with some key takeaways about arrest warrant scams. In fact, most of these takeaways can be applied to other scams as well, especially takeaway number 1. Scammers control what phone number is shown on caller ID. The screen might display a phone number for your local bank or police station, but it's a scammer on the other end. In the case of arrest warrant scams, we know caller ID can't be trusted. When the scammer calls, it shows the phone number of a local law enforcement agency instead. That's takeaway number 1. Do not trust caller ID. Next, scammers might provide fake paperwork to convince victims an arrest warrant is real. This is common in a lot of scams that impersonate government agencies. Always be skeptical of paperwork provided by a random stranger over the phone. If someone urges you to make immediate payment over the phone, it's a red flag. Law enforcement agencies don't usually accept payment over the phone. If you get a phone call claiming a warrant was issued for your arrest, ask for the name of the organization that issued the warrant, hang up and call the organization directly. Do not engage with the scammer who contacted you. That's it for this video. If you liked it, click the thumbs up button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you experienced an arrest warrant scam, leave a comment. I want to hear your story. We gladly accept super thanks on YouTube. If you're feeling generous, hit that thanks button. You can follow Scamaware 101 on all your favorite social media platforms and join our mailing list by visiting scamaware101.com. Our next live stream is Thursday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern, so stop in and say hi. I want to see all of you there. On that note, thanks for watching. See you soon, and as always, stay safe.